Today, I want to talk about something very special, the natural changes that the body, including the penis, goes through over the years. But instead of focusing on clinical cases or technical data, I will share a personal experience from my own relationship with my husband. Aging transforms us in many ways, and the body responds to these changes in every detail. The penis, like any other part of our body, goes through transformations that can bring up questions and sometimes insecurities. However, I've learned that these changes don't have to distance a couple or diminish pleasure and connection. On the contrary, they can become an opportunity to rediscover companionship and intimacy in new ways. As the years passed, I realized that what really matters is the bond and mutual care, an intimacy that goes beyond appearance or physical performance. When we were younger, my husband and I lived moments filled with energy and vigor, and the beginning of our marriage was marked by this strong physical presence. But over time, changes started to happen. The first thing we noticed was the firmness of the erection, which started to fluctuate. At first, we thought it was just a phase, a reflection of stress or tiredness. However, we noticed that it happened more frequently, leading us to view these moments from a new perspective. Sometimes, the erection would diminish before we could fully enjoy our time together, which made us reflect on the new needs and rhythms our bodies now required. Additionally, we noticed small changes in size. Although subtle, these alterations brought with them new feelings and uncertainties. It was from this phase of discoveries that I decided to compile tips and practices to help strengthen relationships and renew intimacy. That's why I've made digital books available, where I share practical insights and solutions for both physical and emotional challenges, so couples can reignite the passion in their relationship. To get a copy, simply visit the first pinned comment. Discover how to cultivate a relationship full of affection and companionship, regardless of time's changes. Don't forget to also subscribe to our channel and activate the bell to never miss any content. The first conversation about these changes wasn't easy. My husband, always so secure and confident, seemed uneasy, as though a shadow of shame was following him because he couldn't be the same as before. This silent fear ended up creating a distance between us. It was as if he avoided the topic, fearing he would disappoint me. But over time, we learned to navigate these changes together, discovering new ways of connection and keeping intimacy alive, now in a more profound and sensitive manner. Seeing the insecurity in my husband, someone I've always admired for his confidence, moved me. It was a reminder that our relationship has always been grounded in love and the companionship we've built over the years. As I researched more about the topic, I realized that it is absolutely natural for the body to go through transformations with time. We all go through it in different ways. Elasticity decreases, hormonal changes intensify, and blood circulation decreases. The result is a change in the firmness and size of the penis. But this is part of the aging process and shouldn't define our intimacy. One night, after a quiet dinner, I felt it was time to have this conversation. I sat beside him, held his hand, and with tenderness told him that I understood what he was going through. I reminded him that our bodies change with time, and that is a universal truth. But above all, I wanted him to know that I loved him for who he had always been, for the incredible person he was, and not for his physical appearance. In that moment, I felt something shift between us. We started to value more and more the tenderness, the companionship, and an intimacy that extended beyond the physical. We discovered ways of pleasure and connection that didn't depend on an erection. Over time, we began to enjoy our intimacy more fully, valuing each touch, each gesture, and every glance exchanged. We understood that long hugs, soft kisses, and sincere caresses could be just as or more meaningful than climax. In the past, we may have been focused on the final goal. Now, every gesture is an expression of affection and gratitude, which gradually allowed my husband to regain his self-confidence. He began to see these changes not as losses, but as a new way of rediscovering himself and accepting the natural transformations of the body. Our bond no longer depends on idealized expectations, but is strengthened by mutual connection and the pleasure we find in being together. We learned that true intimacy is not limited to a single moment, but is revealed in the way we care for each other, in the attentive listening, and the support we offer one another. This understanding brought us a unique depth. Society often pressures men to maintain a constant image of virility, but we realized that what really matters is love and companionship. In the end, it's the feelings we cultivate and share that make us feel full and complete. The pressure to maintain a strong image can be difficult, especially when the body starts going through transformations. But one thing I wish all men knew is that their value goes far beyond the size of their penis or the age of their erections. What really matters is the way they love, the way they dedicate themselves, and the emotional connection they have with their partner. With more years of of experience, I can now say that intimacy in adulthood can be even richer and more rewarding than in youth. Time brings us patience, understanding, and a greater sensitivity to meet each other's needs. This phase allows us to enjoy every moment without the pressure of reaching a specific goal, valuing the pleasure of touch and the tranquility of the encounter. With time, we learn to look at our bodies with more gentleness. In youth, there is a tendency to focus on perfect appearance and flawless performance, but maturity teaches us to see the body as a reflection of our journey, a living narrative of experiences and shared love. Every wrinkle we have tells a story, and the marks on my husband's body do as well. These small signs became symbols of our journey together. In the end, it's these memories that really matter. The body in old age transforms into a map full of stories, marked by everything we've lived, the choices we've made, and the victories we've achieved. Instead of frustration, we learn to see this with gratitude. Every wrinkle and every change represents moments of resilience, love, and learning. Over time, my husband began to see his body in a new way. The size of his penis was no longer a symbol of his masculinity, but simply a part of him that, like many others, changed over the years. Free from these pressures, he regained his confidence, but now a more authentic confidence, not based on appearance or performance, but on the acceptance of who he really is. Our intimacy also deepened with this new perspective. While our encounters are no longer as frequent, they have become more intense and meaningful. Every touch now has a special purpose, as if each moment were a celebration of the love and connection we've built. Despite all the transformations time has brought, we rediscovered the joy of being together without expectations, enjoying every moment we spend side by side. We understand that true pleasure lies in the mutual presence, in companionship, and in respect for our individual and shared journeys. One of the things I appreciate most about our years together is our ability to be honest and vulnerable with each other. We openly talk about our fears and insecurities, and my husband shared with me how challenging it's been to accept the changes in his body. He spoke about how this transformation affected his confidence, especially in a society that often links masculinity to sexual performance. Over time, he understood that his value didn't depend on those expectations, and that our love went far beyond them. I, in turn, was honest and told him that, although the physical changes were unexpected at first, they never diminished my love or desire for him. On the contrary, our bond grew stronger as we faced these changes together. This process taught us to communicate more deeply, expressing what each of us needed and understanding what really mattered to us. This honest communication kept our connection alive, not only in the physical sense, but in the full depth of our emotional bond. We started to value even more our emotional connection, understanding that mutual care and strengthening our feelings were essential, because sex became an expression of that affinity and affection, much more than just a physical act. With this strengthened bond, the pleasure we felt with each other became deeper and more meaningful, without depending on physical performance. The acceptance of body changes led my husband to adopt new self-care habits. He began to invest more in his overall health, focusing on a balanced diet, exercise, and relaxation practices such as meditation, which helped him reduce stress and anxiety. These self-care practices brought benefits not only to his body, but also to his emotional well-being, positively impacting our intimacy in ways we hadn't imagined. After all, stress and anxiety often create unnecessary pressure on sexual life. With this pressure alleviated, my husband began to see his body with more acceptance and tenderness, bringing a renewed lightness to our moments together. This response from the body, more natural and calm, was reflected in our encounters, allowing us to relax and enjoy the moment. This adaptation process didn't happen overnight. It was a gradual journey, with ups and downs, moments of uncertainty, and small victories. There are still days when he feels insecure, but these moments are becoming increasingly rare. We both dedicated ourselves to caring for our relationship and embracing the changes, and this journey has brought back the genuine joy of being together. We also learned to face these changes with lightness and humor. When something doesn't go as planned, instead of getting frustrated, we laugh together, hug each other, and enjoy the moment in our own way. This spontaneity taught us that not everything needs to be taken so seriously, and that true intimacy lies in our ability to connect and laugh together, finding joy in the imperfections that are part of us. Imperfections are part of life, and with time, we discovered that they are the things that give a special touch to our story. Over the years, our relationship has transformed profoundly. It was no longer just about physical sex, but something much deeper: subtle touches, sincere glances, affectionate words, and gestures that show love and understanding. We discovered that true pleasure lies in the connection between us, in each other's presence, and in the love we share. The changes in my husband's body were, in fact, valuable lessons in acceptance and patience. With them, we learned to look beyond societal pressures on appearance and performance, and to value what really matters: closeness, companionship, and mutual respect. Each physical change became an opportunity for us to grow together, strengthening our relationship and finding new ways to express our love. When I look back, I feel a deep sense of gratitude for every experience we've lived. The passion of youth has its value, of course, but there is a serene and mature beauty in a love that transcends time, that faces challenges and becomes stronger and deeper. Each phase, for any man or couple going through these transformations, my message is clear. Talk about what you're feeling. Embrace the changes your body is experiencing. Aging is part of life, and with a positive perspective, each phase can be just as rewarding as the previous one. The size of the penis or the firmness of erections are just details in a much larger picture. True connection and genuine pleasure come from the ability to love and be loved fully, accepting the other with all the changes time brings. That has nothing to do with physical appearance, but with the care and soul we put into the relationship. As we age side by side, we continue to learn, strengthen our love, and maintain that special bond we share. For me, this is the true gift that maturity brings, a love that transcends the physical and is deeply rooted in who the other is. I'd love to know how you view these natural changes that time brings. Share your experience or opinion here in the comments. Your story can enrich our conversation and help others feel embraced. And if you liked this content, leave your like and share it with friends and family so more people can discover the channel and benefit from these reflections. Together, we can create more space for honest and meaningful conversations. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell to receive all the updates. Every step we take here is to strengthen our community and promote more understanding. Thank you for being here, and see you next time.